Finally, we got our confirmation. Finally, they revealed their future. Finally, we can take a deep breath and stop wondering what's going on with Nintendo, at least for a while. Good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. So much has been going down today in terms of rumors, speculation, studio closures, and more. But let's start off with the big Nintendo kahuna. They had their investors call and they finally unveiled their plans going forward. And I think this is all a Nintendo fan could ask for, is for Nintendo to be transparent about what the heck is going on. They announced the next Direct, which might be one of the first times they've announced a Direct way ahead of time, besides like, oh, we know they're having one at E3, but E3 don't exist. And Furukawa officially confirmed the existence of the next console, so anyone that still was holding out that the Switch 2 was make-believe, guess what? It's real. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. This is pretty freaking cool. The investors call confirmed that the Switch continues to sell very well. Mario Kart pumped out more millions. Both Mario vs. Donkey Kong and Princess Peach Showtime surpassed 1 million. Not huge sellers, but still good successes. And we got his statement on the new console. Pre-warning, it's very slight, it's very light, but Furukawa does confirm that there is a new Switch in development and that Nintendo will be revealing it this fiscal year. That means now till next March. He tweeted, "This is Furukawa, president of Nintendo." Just like Miyamoto tweets, "This is Miyamoto." They just announced themselves. It's very cool. "We will make an announcement about the successor of Nintendo Switch within this fiscal year. It will have been over 9 years since we announced the existence of Nintendo Switch back in March 2015. We will be holding a Nintendo Direct in June." Super pumped for the Nintendo Direct in June. Thank goodness. He does confirm the existence of a new console, and he says that the Direct will cover the Nintendo Switch software lineup for the latter half of 2024, but please be aware that there will be no mention of the Nintendo Switch successor during that presentation. There you have it. We now know. Switch 2 is real. Switch 2 will be announced sometime in the next 12 months. Switch 2 will not be announced in June. There will be a Direct in June, and it's going to cover games for the latter half of 2024. Boom! That's all we asked for. They confirmed they got games. They confirmed we have a new Switch 1 Direct, possibly the last. They confirmed there's a new console. They confirmed it's going to be announced relatively soon. And since then, there's been an update. Furukawa was asked if this new console was a brand new console or more of a Switch successor. And Furukawa said, "Switch next model is the appropriate way to describe it," which I think we all expected. We didn't think that they were going to go dramatically different, change things up in a major way, split back into two different totem poles of home console and handheld. They're going to keep it the Switch. It's the new model. It's basically what you'd say about a PlayStation, right? The PS5 is the new model of the PS4. The Switch 2 will be the new model of the Switch 1. Although we do not have a name for this yet, that's something that will be revealed later on. And it does seem like Nintendo now will most likely follow the same formula that worked so well for them with the Switch 1. Announce this thing in late fall so that it does not step on the toes of the latter half of 2024 games, and then reveal it in big fashion probably in January. Launch the bad boy in March, and away we go, playing a new, big, bold batch of Nintendo Switch first-party games in 4K, and they can restart the cycle on epic entries into the Animal Crossing, Mario Kart, 3D Mario, Zelda, Smash Bros, and more franchises. So this clears it up. Switch 2 will almost assuredly not be launching in 2024. I think any glimmer of hope that we may have had is probably gone, because Furukawa does confirm that there will not be any mention of this successor at the June Direct, although Nintendo's weird enough that they could have a June Direct and then soon after have a Switch 2 reveal if they wanted to. I'm not saying they will, but 0.05% chance that still could go down. I think the June Direct, honestly, is huge news. It's going to be a normal Direct. It's not going to be a partner showcase. It's not going to be a mini. He straight up said a Nintendo Direct will happen in June. And guys and girls, June is 3 weeks away. We are closer to June than you think. And this thing could debut at any point in that month. Maybe it comes out before Summer Games Fest. I've seen some people suggest that they think it'll be after Summer Games Fest. But regardless, at least we know. At least we know we can play Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door in peace this month. We can look forward to a Nintendo Direct next month, and we don't have to expect a Switch 2 announcement in the Direct. We can just get ready for an exciting platter of new Switch first-party games for the rest of 2024. I made a video yesterday talking about the 10 games I think Nintendo can announce. And frankly, I don't think they'll go beyond that list of 10. So if you want to check out that video, that probably predicts which titles are going to get announced. I think it's going to be a batch of those. I can't really see much else happening based on how this year has gone, what we know, and what Nintendo still has in the oven. But they do have a Switch 2 in the oven, and it's going to get announced, I think, later this year. Obviously, they could still wait till 2025, and wouldn't that be a crazy scenario? By saying we'll announce it this fiscal year, Furukawa does leave the door open to announce this thing next year and then launch it next holiday season. But that seems kind of bananas, very far away, and given the longevity of the Switch and where we're at in the life cycle, given the releases that we've seen so far this year and expect to see later this year, it seems like we are at the end. It seems like we are really creeping close to closing this door on Nintendo Switch 1 and entering the era of Switch 2. And something interesting that can now happen is because Nintendo has officially confirmed they're making a new console, in case you doubted them, but because it's public now, other companies can say we're working on games for the Switch successor. They can easily now confirm their games that, hey, it's coming out on PS5, Xbox Series X, maybe not Xbox Series, I don't know. Xbox is in a dangerous position, closing Tango, freaking Hi-Fi Rush makers. They make an awesome game, they get closed. Closing Arcane, the ones that made Prey, don't like it, don't like what they're doing, don't know what they're doing. But anyways, they can say it's coming out on PS5, Xbox, and the successor to the Switch, Nintendo's next console, Nintendo's next generation console. That is fair game now, and I think we will start to see games that are announced for the Switch 2 before the Switch 2 is officially revealed, and before Nintendo confirms any of their lineup. Now the window is open for Summer Games Fest to say, hey, third parties that got games coming out in 2025, they can say they're for all three. They can say they're for anything, or they might not. Maybe Nintendo has specific deals in place to reveal games and titles at their own directs. There surely will be some of that. So if a game comes out and it doesn't have any sort of Nintendo branding, just know that they could have a special deal with Nintendo for their own specific marketing in a Nintendo Direct. But there inevitably will be some games, probably some smaller titles, that are coming to Switch 2, and they can now kind of reveal that. I know some people wanted more out of Furukawa, wanted a release window, a launch timing update, something of the sort, a new game announcement, but I honestly think this is all we've been waiting for. This is all we've been waiting for, and it puts us on a path that has to lead to a new console and a bunch of new games. Could you ask for more? I mean, we now know the next Direct is a month away. We now know there'll be a bunch of Switch 1 games, and we know that, man, they must have a decent chunk because the entire Direct is focused there. It's not a split Direct. It's not a hardware reveal Direct. It is a Nintendo Switch 1 Direct that Furukawa is touting as the big way to reveal to investors, to buyers, and to players what Nintendo has for the rest of 2024. I think that's going to be a banger Direct. It probably closes out the Switch era, and I think that's where we get some Metroid Prime 4 love, possibly some DK, maybe even Pokemon, and definitely some more remasters and remakes. I'm glad Nintendo was honest with its fans. They needed to talk to us. They needed to tell us what's going on because, frankly, it has been too chaotic to wait. And even though I wish the Switch 2 was coming sooner, even though I wish it was being announced and revealed in June, even though I wish we would start to see the games that Nintendo has planned for 4K and the epic 3D Mario they're building, at least we know. I think the unknown quandary of being a Nintendo fan is one of the most exhausting things to do, and it makes all of their announcements come under heavy scrutiny because you're comparing them to the blankness that you have before us. But now if Nintendo wants to announce Nintendo World Championships NES Edition as a $30 game that looks kind of mediocre, that's okay. We know that they have a Direct in June, and they're going to announce a bunch more. If Nintendo wants to go radio silent from now until June, that's fine. We know they're going to talk about stuff. If Nintendo doesn't want to mention the Switch 2 for another 6 months, it's okay. We know it's coming. Thank goodness Furukawa decided to do this for the fans and for our anxiety levels. I feel much better about this. Knowing what's happening, I think that's a better pill to swallow than not knowing and being magically surprised. Plus, Paper Mario is out in like 2 weeks, so holly freaking Luya. We're going to be playing Thousand Year Door soon. That will definitely take our time and talents till the next Direct, and that's totally cool. I think we're in the prime spot right now. We made it through the early months that were really, really slow. Didn't have a Direct to buffer the emptiness of the release calendar. February was just a partner showcase. We had an indie world, but now we're on track. Now we get a June Direct. Now maybe we get a September Direct to follow up on those games first revealed in June. And now maybe we get a big Switch 2 reveal sometime later this year. That could be anytime. August, September, October, November, but most likely it'll probably be later in the year to avoid cannibalizing Switch sales. And let me tell you, Nintendo has projected quite a bit of sales for the Switch, indicating they believe they have big hitter titles for the rest of 2024. There's no way they just have Nintendo World Championships, Twilight Princess, and Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, and they expect to sell as many Switch units as they expect to sell. Something big is coming, and it probably has a Samus Aran-sized arm blaster. In the meantime, let me know what you think of this. Do you feel better about Nintendo today, or worse. Maybe you feel worse. Maybe you expected more. Maybe you don't like what they're saying. Let me know your take in the comments down below. And until next time, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. Thanks so much for watching. SwitchForce out.